So this is going to be the start of a new series discussing video games and movies that I feel were ahead of their time, and whether that's for their style, themes, or a particular X factor. Hell, it could even be like Starship Troopers where they predict the future, but I'll save that for another time. In this video, I'm going to talk about Blade, the original 1998 film of Wesley Snipes, and for those of you who haven't seen it, you're missing out.
Some motherfuckers are always trying to ice skate uphill.
Everyone remembers that black trenchcoat face that Hollywood had. We can blame this on The Matrix and its totally unique style. Only the funny thing is that Blade actually came out before The Matrix. I just think that it's really interesting, but even more so is the fact that Blade was a Marvel film, and it wasn't even part of the MCU, and that's because there was no MCU at the time. I'm sure it would have been a decent Netflix show or some other edgier Marvel property, but it was a new superhero blockbuster like Spider-Man and X-Men that really helped in kicking off the superhero and comic book craze that would eventually lead to the MCU and the mega blockbusters we see today. Blade came out 2 years before X-Men and 4 years before Spider-Man, yet it was a successful film in its own right. And even crazier is the fact that this Marvel film was R-rated. We wouldn't see another mainstream cinematic release of an R-rated Marvel film until Deadpool hit cinemas in 2016. That's 18 years later. Extraordinary that studios at the time even felt like getting involved with a project like this. Snipes absolutely nails his role, and you believe he's this badass vampire hunter who's just run out of fucks. But what makes his casting ahead of the curve is the simple fact that he's black. We wouldn't see another black lead in a Marvel film until Black Panther was released, 20 years later. Also, the female lead in this film is a black woman. The film casts Bush Wright as a character who's also a qualified doctor and ends up playing a pivotal role in the story. So let that all sink in. In 1998 we had an R-rated Marvel movie with a black lead that featured kung fu, rave scenes and long leather trench coats, and it came out a year before The Matrix, 10 years before the MCU, and 20 before Black Panther, and long before superhero movies were even mainstream. And because of that, I think we should all revere the original Blade film for being well ahead of its time.